How's it going, everybody? It is Sam here with BFPGear.com, and as you can see here, I've got an entry-level setup on the table. If you've watched our previous video on setups that are under 250 bucks, you're gonna obviously identify that this is one of them. Very, very basic Tippmann Stormer setup. And this video is going to be, where do you go from there? What's next for you in terms of your paintball equipment? Well, that's what this is going to be. This is going to be the first episode in what I'm going to call the upgrade series. So I'm going to go grab a handful of items that are going to be upgrades from this $250 setup. We're going to take a look at them, and well, we're going to see you after the intro. A quick disclaimer before we get started on this video is the prices. All of the prices that are said in this video are at the time of the video being made. So we're going to have links in the description below for all of the most current and up-to-date information. And if you're curious about any of the items that are shown in this video, click that link and you'll get the most updated information and pricing. One of the first components that you're going to want to upgrade, and it's also going to be the biggest and most expensive one, is going to be your paintball gun. Obviously, we've got this Tippmann Stormer here. This is one of the best paintball markers that you can start with, but maybe you took an interest in speedball, so you want to upgrade to an electronic marker. Well, that's why I've got this Mini GS here. The Mini GS is currently priced at $319.95, and it comes in a huge variety of colors. This is just one of the new ones, that tangerine orange with the silver, but this is going to be a huge upgrade from that Tippmann Stormer. The Mini GS is going to be packed with a ton of features that are not found in a marker like the Stormer. Like, for example, you're going to have this lever locking clamping feed neck. You have a two-piece barrel instead of just a one-piece barrel. It's electronic, so you're going to power it on. And then you also have this on-off air source adapter, and of course a double trigger, so you can roll the trigger and get this thing to shoot at insanely high rates of fire. And when I mean insanely high rates of fire, these things right out of the box can shoot up to 30 balls per second. But that's if you have equipment that's fast enough, and if you've got fingers that are fast enough as well, because you're going to want to be able to walk the trigger. And that's one thing that's going to give you a big advantage when you're using something like the Mini GS over that Tippmann Stormer, is that this thing just shoots better, and it's also going to shoot a lot faster because you do have that double trigger. But this is going to be one of the most direct upgrades, and again, these things are currently priced at $319.95, and they are absolutely amazing electronic markers. So now that we've upgraded our paintball marker, the next thing on the list is going to be an air tank. Upgrading your air system is going to be great because you can take that air system and carry it on to the next marker that you get if you upgrade from like this Mini GS and keep moving, up the food chain or something like that. But this little steel air tank, it weighs a lot, it doesn't carry a whole lot of air, and you don't really get a lot of shots off of it. So upgrading your air system is going to be huge. Moving up into that food chain, you're looking at, I would say, the HSTL HK Army air tank here. 68 cubic inch air tank. It comes in a huge variety of different colors, so you can mix and match with whichever color Mini GS you get, or you can, well, do what I'm doing here with some really weird colors, but you're going to get way more shots out of this thing. It's a bigger air tank, it carries more air, and it's lighter. This is just a direct and strict upgrade from that aluminum air tank, and you're going to be using this for a really, really long time when you make the investment. Definitely worth upgrading your air tank. Now that we have our air tank and we've got our Mini GS, the next thing on this list is going to be this loader. Now, sure, gravity-fed loader can work with these electronic markers, but when I said that this thing can rip up to 30 balls per second out of the box, there's no way a gravity-fed loader is going to be feeding 30 balls per second. So you want to upgrade to an electronic loader. Now, there are a couple of options when you do upgrade to an electronic loader. I highly recommend either the Dye LTR or the Spire IR2. The reason why I recommend these loaders, upgrading to them, is because Sure, they're both about $110, except for the Black Spire IR2. That one's going to be $119.95. Or if you get the camo pattern on the Dye LTR, that one's going to be a little bit more at $129.95. But these loaders feed a lot faster, and you don't have to worry about paint not feeding into your paintball gun. The nice thing about both of these loaders is that they're both really, really amazing. They sit in that similar price point, and they both feed pretty dang fast. The Dye LTR is definitely going to feed a lot faster than the IR2, and the IR2 is going to come in a lot of different colors, but each one has their pros, each one has their cons. If you're looking for those higher rates of fire, highly recommend the Dye LTR. If you're looking for something that is going to be just, you hit a button, it feeds, you need to take it apart really easily, change out your batteries, clean it out, then I highly recommend the IR2. Either way, these are both going to be significant upgrades for your paintball setup, and well, you just can't go wrong with either of them. Now that is looking like a really good setup, but the last thing to upgrade when it comes to your entire setup is going to be your goggle system. Now, yeah, the HSTL goggle system is an absolutely phenomenal goggle system, especially at its low price point of $44.95. Comes with a thermal lens and it has the adjustable strap on the back and the top. But maybe I want something that's a little bit more breathable. Maybe I want something that's going to be a little bit better. And as you can see here, I've got a handful of goggles that are sitting here, and they're all priced at just under that $100 price point. So we've got the JT Pro Flex here, we've got the JT Flex 8, and then we also have the Virtue Vio Ascend. JT Pro Flexes and Flex 8s do come in a variety of different colors, but what makes these goggles so amazing is that they are super breathable, they are super comfortable, and all of the parts are customizable on them. So if you wanted to maybe pick up a Pro Flex because you like the breathability and that flexible bottom, it's really nice, it's really breathable. Maybe you want to swap out the lens, I mean, you can do that. You want to swap out the visor, you can do that as well. Frames, the ears, and even these bottom face plates, you can customize the entire goggle to match your setup, or maybe you just want something that stands out and is super unique. JT Pro Flexes do start as low as $84.95, and they do work their way up as there are a lot of limited edition patterns out there and stuff like that. But when it comes to that goggle system, the sky is the limit. Alternatively, if you don't like that flexible part, you can always pick up a Flex 8. The Flex 8 is going to have that same comfort and breathability, but it is going to be a tougher material. So instead of having that rubber flexible bottom, you're going to have this plastic. And you can still swap out the frame and the strap and the visor, as well as the lens, but you can't really change out like, the ears or anything like that. Still an amazing goggle system, and definitely worth picking up if you are worried about that flexible bottom part on the JT Pro Flex. Maybe you're afraid that a paintball might go through and like bounce off of like, your mouth or something like that. Well, you can always pick up the Flex 8, also priced at $84.95. Going up the food chain just a little bit there, Virtue Vio Ascend. These come in a variety of different styles, and they also come with a sweet mirrored lens on them. This one right here I have is the Emerald, and it's going to have that just adjustable strap on the back, but it's an easier to change lens system where it just uses little hinges, and then you can just pop the lens out and customize it however you want. And of course, all these goggle systems are going to come with a chin strap, but these are also going to be more, flexible. They're going to be more comfortable, more breathable, just overall better goggle system. And I mean, when it comes to picking one of these, you have quite a few options, but these are going to be the 3 best choices with a goggle system to upgrade to that is under $100. And there you go. You have now upgraded your entry-level Tippmann or mechanical marker setup. And now you've got yourself a sweet entry-level electronic marker setup. The Empire Mini GS is a huge improvement over that Tippmann Stormer because this thing is a lot more air efficient, it is smoother, it is quieter, and it can achieve higher rates of fire. It's also got programmable firing modes in the board there. So if you're ever curious about maybe switching it over to, maybe you want to play like a 3-man tournament or something, well, you can always program the gun to shoot in ramping. Now you also have an electronic loader. This is going to help feed paint into your paintball marker, and you don't have to worry about gravity doing all the work for you, and then paintballs clump up in the feed neck area, and it just doesn't feed paint as fast. The die LTR feeds super fast. It also has this little trigger down here so you can unjam just in case you do experience one of those. All you do is just pull the thing back and you're good to go. You also upgraded your air system. Getting this HSTL 68 cubic inch tank is going to be a massive upgrade because this is one that you can take with you further down the line. Like, let's say maybe you upgrade your gun. Who knows? And of course, your goggle system. Sticking with the JT ProFlex, as you can see here, because that's my favorite goggle system right now. It's also the most customizable one, but every one of the goggles that you saw previously are all really amazing options. And you might be thinking, well, where am I going to go from here? Well, we're going to answer that in the next episode of this series. But as of right now, if you're curious about picking up any of these items, you can do so right now on BFPGear.com.